Welcome to the Half Men podcast. My name is Fowobi. Thank you guys for your love and your support, for always showing up for me. Get me. Show your love, show your support. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Check us out on Apple and Spotify. Today we'll be talking about emotional intelligence, understanding and managing emotions. First, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to manage both your own emotions and understand the emotions of people around you. Now, as simple as that, if you don't understand your own emotions, you find it so hard to handle the emotions of other people, you are not emotionally intelligent. Now, before I dive in further, I am a very, very big fan of men are more emotionally intelligent than women. Now, women will tell me, because I do live shows every now and then, and women will tell me, no, we are more emotionally intelligent than men. Okay. Women are more emotional than men, but men are more emotionally intelligent, because men are not emotional beings though, but men are more emotionally intelligent than women. Men are more grounded when it comes to emotions. But we'll talk more about this later though. And let's talk about 5 components, of emotions. These are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills. It's one thing to fake it like you have emotional intelligence. It's one thing to fake like you are self-aware, like you can self-regulate your emotions. You get me? Like, today's podcast is not to bash anybody and to crush anybody. This is just to call a spade a spade. You get me? Like, to say, okay, there is room for improvement. And regardless of how you take it, you'll be fine. Regardless, it doesn't bother me in any way. I'm just saying exactly how it is. Now, let's share examples of how emotional intelligence play a role in our everyday activities. Take for example, let's say you work with a co-worker that comes off as being disrespectful, but disguise that disrespect activities with sarcasm. If you're not emotionally intelligent, you will get into conflict with such person. You get me? And they will put the blame on you and say you can't take a joke. But when you're emotionally intelligent, you understand your own emotions, that no, this person is trying to inflict their emotions upon me. You get me? They are trying to tune my emotions. So what do you do in a situation like this, in a position like this? You check them. Now, how do you check people like this? People that are trying to pull a reaction out of you. You set a boundary. They are not your friends. Your co-workers are not your friends. You do business together, you get work done. Your lover is not your friend. Oh my God, that's my best friend. No. They are not your friend. Your wife is not your friend. She's not your best friend, my good friend. Your husband is not your friend. He's not your best friend. That's the reason why the masculine is a leader in the relationship. The feminine is a support system in that relationship. But people always want to complicate things. Oh my God, I married my best friend. You're lying to yourself though. As I was saying, you set boundaries with people like this that are trying to pull a reaction out of you. That is manipulation. You get me? And if you dive into the life, and which is not your job, it is not your responsibility to do. If you pay very close attention to people who do this, they usually have suppressed their emotions as a child coming up. I'm talking about the emotions from a chaotic experience. So rather than self-reflect on their shortcomings and heal, they trigger other people. They want other people to show how incompetent they are. So they can say, okay, so person can react like this. They use that to justify, their shortcomings. That's a child, that's a child. You get me? Because this is real life, man. But not just about co-workers and just, people you do business with, or just your lovers though. How about people you do business with? You get me? When you are emotionally intelligent, you know how to stay grounded. Because you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know what you can allow, you know what you would never allow from nobody. You know how to stay grounded. Because you need to understand something when it comes to winning. People will do anything to win. People will go as far as manipulate you and play with your intelligence to get a upper hand over you. And what do you do with characters like this? You set boundaries. I say this all the time, which is something that a lot of people are struggling to do. People don't know how to set boundaries with people. You need to know how to set boundaries. Now let's talk about understanding emotions, the importance of self-awareness in recognizing and understanding one's own emotions. My good friends, it starts from you knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. You need to know your likes and your dislikes. You need to know the things that you don't like. Take for example, I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarette. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I just don't enjoy it. If I go out with friends and my friends say, you should do this, you're with us, I have to stand on my boundaries, which is I don't want to participate in that. I would rather have Coke or have water or have some juice. You get me? And from experience, I've come to understand that people will respect you more for standing up for yourself. People will. They will. Not necessarily to your face though. But people always respect people that know themselves well. That, that person, no, they don't drink. No, they don't do this. There's nothing you will say would change, that will change their mind. You get me? Which is one of the importance of self-awareness. When you are self-aware that, I feel this way when I do this. I don't like that feeling. You get me? I don't want to participate in such feeling anymore. Aha. It's good for you. It's good for you though. You know yourself well. In the book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, Sun Tzu said, know thyself, know thy enemy. It is impossible to know your enemy without knowing yourself though. You have to take the time to know who you are. I'm talking about on a core level. When I take consultation calls, because I do that, where people pay to talk to me. It blows my mind though. People don't, the bigger percentage of people you see in society, they don't know themselves. People are just living and they have a routine. They wake up, they go to work, they come back, they spend a couple of time with their family, they go to sleep, they do it all over again. On the weekends, they hang out with friends. People are not investing into self-reflection. You get me? People are not reflecting. And then they come across people that have done the work, take the time to know who they are, accept their shortcomings, forgive themselves of their past chaos, traumas, of their mistakes. And you think those people are pretending. Those are superior human beings. Because it takes a lot of accountability to self-reflect and judge yourself. Oh my God. I'm not talking about those that try to justify their actions that, oh my God, if I don't do it, they will do the same thing to me. I'm talking about those that judge themselves and say, oh my God, I should not have done that. And they forgive themselves. It is hard to do. Very, very hard to do, my good friends. Very, 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 very hard to do. Now let's talk about, let's see, where are we? Now let's talk about the impact of emotions on thoughts, behavior, and decision making. I can't even emphasize this too much. Your emotions controls everything. Your thoughts, your behavior, your decision making, how you relate to people in society. Your emotions is everything. You must always keep it in check. In between the line, you will meet people that would try to steer you the wrong way. Because people know when you're fully grounded, it's very hard to manipulate you. When you are fully grounded, when you know yourself and you have accepted yourself well, it is very, very hard for people to manipulate you. But when you're in your struggling phase, oh my God, people will try that. Keep your head up though. You will get there. Now let's talk about managing emotions. The concept of self-regulation and its own in managing emotions effectively. For me though, I try to meditate, to regulate my emotions, and I try to meditate on weekends. I don't like to go to the nightclubs because it's too loud in there for me, and I stopped drinking alcohol a very, very long time ago because I don't like the feeling. It makes me depressed a little bit, and I don't like that feeling, so I don't drink alcohol. Back in the day when I was younger, I'm talking about 2005, 2006, I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore though because I don't like the feeling. And that's the reason why I don't do those things. You need to know yourself well. Get to that level where you know yourself well. When you have your emotions in place, it's going to reflect in your thoughts, your thinking pattern, your behavior, your decision-making skills, your interaction with people. A majority of the time, as human beings, we hold on to our past traumas and our chaos. We hold on to our shortcomings, the things we have done in our past years, and say, oh my God, you need to learn to let it go. Because you're not going that way anymore. It's in the past. Let me bust your bubbles or something. Let me surprise you. Every human being you see in the society, the successful ones, the struggling ones, the ones that won't become successful, I'm talking about, the bottom. Every human being has insecurities. Every human being has shortcomings. Those that accept their shortcomings, those that know their strengths and their weaknesses, those that accept themselves for who they truly are, they are the ones that elevate to become superior human beings. These are the ones that elevate to accomplish great things with their life, in their life, because they know themselves well. And another thing I should say is this. I think I should repeat this so you understand me well. Every human being you see out there, including the ones that are portrayed, oh my God, they have this charisma, they look so perfect. No one is perfect though. Every human being you see out there, especially those that other people look up to, they have what is that English word? Damn, it skipped me. They have things in their life they are working on. That's what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. You get me? Like, no one is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So, majority of the time we look up to superstars, actors and actresses, politicians, businessmen. I would say, oh my God, I want to be like them. This person, they carry themselves like this. No one is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So from that standpoint, I want you to self-reflect on your life. You don't have to hold on to any chaos, hold on to any trauma. Come on, it happened already. You're not going towards that direction anymore. You're going towards the future. And one of the materials you need to head towards that future, to get to your peak, the best version of yourself, is this. You have to learn to forgive yourself. You just have to. You learn to forgive yourself. You learn to forgive yourself, though. Back in the day, though, I used to tell myself I don't forgive nobody. I was young. I was naive. I'm 39 years old now, and it's 2024. I have changed a lot. I've changed a lot. Let's talk about healthy coping mechanism for dealing with stress, frustration, and other challenging emotions. We are all unique, from extrovert to introvert. I am an introvert, and for a very, very long time, I wanted to be an extrovert. It affected me, though. It made me make a lot of mistakes. I don't have fun around a lot of people. Does that make sense? When you go to the nightclubs or people go out partying, dancing, I don't have fun around a large number of people. You get me? As a matter of fact, I don't have fun with people I don't know. If I don't know you, I don't have fun. So, for a long time, I would hang out with my friends and do, my activities was what my friends like to do. It affected me. It made me suppress my real self. I walked out of it, though, eventually, obviously. Come on now. And I started doing things I used to do when I was young, which is watch cartoons, watch anime, read comic books, watch movies, listen to music, dance by myself, talk to my family, my friend, my lover. Like, I don't have to go out every weekend to to do what my friends wants to do. That is my own coping mechanism. Does that make sense? So, usually when I talk to people and I explain this same thing I just explained to you, it worked for me. But I am very, very sure that yours might be different. But you need to take the time to know what used to give you peace of mind. What are the things that you used to do to feel alive? To some people, though, you might be participating in chaos. I'm not going to encourage you to keep doing it just because you want to feel alive. Because you have to look at it from this side of you. If you inflict chaos on other people, you are destroying your life. There is no way you're being happy doing it. I have spoken to people that said that they feel more alive when they inflict chaos in other people's life. And I don't criticize people. I understand that is how you feel, but you are destroying other people's life. You get me? Like, you have to find a professional that can walk you through that way. Because, if you say you come alive inflicting, like, it doesn't even make any sense. At least to me, though. So I would suggest you get a professional to help you. So let's talk about how individuals can develop better emotional control. My good man, exercise. My good people, exercise, meditation. For me, I bought a punching bag in 2016. Was it 2016? No, 2015. I bought a punching bag. I've always been a student of self-defense. I've always, gone to boxing school, karate, taekwondo as a child coming up. I've always loved those things. So to some extent, I know how to fight. Well, I've never been in a fight before. but self-defense has always been my thing. So I would say exercise. You don't have to go to the gym. I don't go to the gym because I don't like being around people I don't know. So I work out in my place. And you guys know where I live. I live in downtown Minneapolis. And there's a lot of gym right here in downtown. In the condo where I live, there's a gym downstairs, but I don't go there. Fuck them. So I have all gym equipment that I need in my place, in my unit. So I would suggest you do the same thing though. If you can't afford to buy all these gym equipment, I would suggest you just try using your body weight. Your body weight is like, when your body weight, like do push-ups, do jumping jacks, squats, lunges, you get me, sit up. You can do that. Just do that. Like, that is one way for you to develop better emotional control. I promise you, when you meditate, it's actually very, very good for you though. And I live in Minnesota. It gets very, very cold down here. And I bathe with cold water. Cold water is very, very good for mental health. Very, 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 very good. Very, very good. It has helped me a lot though. Meditation has helped me a lot. Cold shower has helped me a lot though. Like when you bathe with extremely cold water, it's very, very good for your brain. Now let's talk about developing empathy. And its significance in building strong connection with other people. As simple as this is, would you believe it's not everybody that have empathy for another human being? Empathy is very, very good. And one way to develop empathy is be a good listener. When you listen to people, you listen to them talk. You just silence, you just let them talk. You get me? If you've never experienced it before, use words like, I don't understand what you're going through, or I empathize with you. Use words like, if you've experienced before, I know what you're going through, and I empathize with you. How can we move forward? When you do this, my good friends, it builds strong connections with other people. It's 2024 right now. And the bigger percentage of people living right now that you see out there that portray perfection right now in society, they lack empathy. People don't care about people. People want people to care about them. This is one thing that blows my mind. People want other people to care about them. But people don't care about anybody. And it blows my mind. How can you become the best version of yourself when you lack empathy? You get me? You don't feel sorry for what is going on in people's life, especially when you are the one that inflicted that chaos on other people. You can never become your full potential. It is impossible. In the movies, they say when you do this, you can still rise to the top, but that is a lie. Because in real life, there is something called karma. And karma is richer and powerful than you can possibly imagine. Now let's talk about the difference between cognitive empathy and emotional empathy. My good friends, cognitive empathy, let's start from emotional empathy. Emotional empathy is not just listening to people though. You get me? Not just listening to people though, but showing them that you care about what they have to say. Am I making sense? Showing them that you care about what they have to say. Now, cognitive empathy, it is a type of empathy that allows you to rationally understand. I said rationally understand another person's thoughts, feelings, and perspective. You ask questions if you don't know what they are talking about. Like you are interested in what they have to say. Not just do your puppy face like, oh my God, I don't understand what you're saying, but you get me. If you don't understand, like, you show interest in what they are trying to tell you. Like, can you explain this again to me so I can better understand you? That is cognitive empathy. And when they do, now I understand what you're trying to say. I'm so sorry that happened to you. That is cognitive. The combination of cognitive and emotional empathy, oh my God, you become a powerful human being. Very, very powerful human being. Because one of the traits of a leader is a good listener. You get me? My mom practiced cognitive and emotional empathy. Yes. She is very, very interested in what I have to say. And she shows emotional support. Big shout out to our moms. Now, interpersonal skills. Let's talk about interpersonal skills in building and maintaining relationship. You can't always see things from your perspective, though. Learn to see things from other people's perspective. You get me? There is always room for change, my good people. There is always room for change, my good people. We don't know everything. Nobody is perfect across the board. Learn to see things from other people's perspective. You get me? It's not always my way or the highway. Learn to see things from other people's perspective. As a matter of fact, though, when people are trying to suggest their opinion, listen to them. Now let's talk about effective communication, active listening, and conflict resolution as a crucial component. It is impossible for two or more people to have a dialogue, to have a relationship, business, co-worker, partners in crime, politics, just life in general, without effective communication, active listening skills. You get me? Like conflict resolution skills. You need to, everything is not always about raising your voice and fights and arguments. You need to learn how to talk to one another. That's the communication skills. Effective communication skills, though. Even if you're trying to explain yourself and the other person said, I don't understand all you said just now. Can you please dumb it down or say it in a better way that I will understand you? All you have to do is say it again. And active listening is when you know how to listen to people. When people are trying to talk to you, you listen to them. And conflict resolution is when there is conflict. You get me? You don't necessarily need to fight. There is a misunderstanding and you need to settle it. You get me? You need to settle it. Now, emotional intelligence in the workplace, it is very, very important. Very, very important, though. Across the board, you have to be professional. I have met people that are not professional at all. Of all the places that I've worked in the United States, Wells Fargo was the place that I worked. I would say the bosses right there at Wells Fargo, they are not professional at all. There are some of them that are professionals, but the ones that I worked with, they are not professional at all. As a matter of fact, though, one of the ways they used to prove they have more seniority over me was to speak down to me. I was there for a couple of months until I resigned. Like, nah, fuck it. I can't work here no more. You get me? So, learn to speak to one another. If that makes sense. Let's see. Let's talk about tips for fostering a positive emotional intelligence culture in the workplace. One, you have to be professional across the board. If somebody sets a boundary with you, respect those boundaries. Respect those boundaries. I've met people that will breach those boundaries and no, you must accept the way I teach you, the way I handle. Man, be professional. And I'm the kind of person that I will check you. Don't talk to me that way. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? You get me? Like, you don't speak to me like that. How dare you? And when I talk like this, people will say, who the hell do you think you are? I am 4B. You don't talk to me that way. Do you know the meaning of my name? Like, who the hell do you think you are to speak to me? How dare you talk to me that way? You get me? And in between the line, I try to apply professionalism. But one thing I've noticed about workspaces, people that are more superior than you at work, like let's say they are your manager or your team lead, they don't like to be checked. And then they try to justify their actions. I'm not one to be professional with me across the board. You get me? And at work, people like their ass to be kissed. Not me though. I'm from Lagos. Fuck you. So, let's round this up. Cultivating emotional intelligence in daily life. Remember the definition of emotional intelligence, my good friends. This is understanding one's emotions and other people's emotions. You need to practice this daily. Know yourself well, my good friends. Make peace with your past. Accept yourself, your strengths, and your weakness. It's okay. Regardless of what society will try to push to you that there are people out there that are perfect, that is a lie. No human being alive is perfect. No one is perfect. You get me? Like, continue to practice personal development on your life. You get me? This is one way to cultivate emotional intelligence across the board. Continue to know what is expected of you in society as a human being. Continue to work on yourself. I want you to practice mindfulness, self-reflection. You get me? When it comes to the development of emotional intelligence, no one is perfect, my good friends. No one is perfect, though. This is one of the reasons why when you see older people, I'm talking about elderly people with gray hair that have made a lot of mistakes, they are usually wiser than younger people. You get me? Because they have reflected on their shortcomings. And I strongly believe this though. If you can self-reflect as early age as possible, you can have the wisdom of an elderly man, an elderly woman. It comes from self-reflection. But when you're young, as a human being, when you're young, you think you don't have the time to self-reflect. Like, why do I have to self-reflect? You get me? Continue to be well, my good friends. There is always room for change. There is always room for change, my friends. Society will reward you if you accept yourself for your shortcomings. You will reward yourself. You will live a fulfilled life. People make mistakes though. People make mistakes. But majority of the time as people, we get lost in time. We get lost in our mistakes and, our shortcomings and find it so hard to forgive ourselves. Let it go, my friends. You get me? Let it go. Keep your head up, my friends. Show your love, show your support. Follow us on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Across the board in all social media platforms like Apple and TikTok. No, Instagram and TikTok, excuse me. My name is Fowobi. I'm your host. Take it easy, my friends. See you around.